The most expensive trucks, GMC, Chevy, and Ram build, the Denalis, the loaded diesels, the six-figure ones, are braking faster than anything on the road, transmissions dying at 1,500 miles, engines grenading over a $2 part. And the most loyal buyers these brands ever had are finally walking away. Millions of them. Once you see what 100 grand actually buys you now, you'll know exactly why. Real quick, if you're tired of watching trucks get more expensive and worse at the same time, hit like and subscribe. It's free and it keeps this channel going. All right, let's get into it.
If you own a modern Chevy truck or SUV, two things kill these transmissions. The factory fluid that's in your car when you get it loves to absorb moisture, glazes the clutch. Second, and this is the big one, the factory thermal bypass valve keeps things running way too hot. The metal parts warp and send bits of shrapnel through your system. So swap your fluid and filter. Get the Mobil 1 Synthetic LV ATF HP, look for the blue label. An aftermarket thermal bypass valve flip kit to drop your operating temps by 40 degrees. A couple $100 now will save you thousands in the long run. But me personally, this is why I would never own a Chevy.
Pay attention to who just said that. This is a guy who repairs these transmissions for a living, and even he says he'd never own one. He knows the factory fluid and the thermal bypass valve are cooking these transmissions from the inside. When the mechanic who can fix it won't spend his own money on it, that tells you everything.
Look at this right here. 2025 Yukon Denali, my little Super Cruise piece broke off. Now I feel like this piece is kind of made flimsy, and anytime I get an oil change, I feel like whoever gets in and out of my truck grabs it right here to get up in the truck, and that's how it breaks. Now it is under warranty. They are replacing it today, so.
A 2025 Denali, the most expensive thing GMC sells, and a piece just snaps off in her hand because someone used it to climb in. That's not bad luck. That's a $100,000 truck built with dollar store plastic. At least it's under warranty. This week.
Anybody else have nothing but problems with their GMC Acadias? Because I'm so over it. I've had this car for a year. It's been to the shop probably 5 times.
5 times in 1 year. She's had it 12 months. And it's been in the shop 5 of them. That's not a car you own. That's a car you visit.
I'm on the way now because my check engine light came on. It says steering assist, reduce, drive with care. What the fuck does that mean? And then every time that comes on, the engine fan will start to run real loud, and then the temperature of my engine goes down to cold. I cannot figure out what the frick is going on. But the thing with the fan is that it only lasts for 2 days every time it shuts off. Like, it stops after 2 days. Like, I leave my car sit or even drive, and it'll just turn off while I'm driving and then fix itself. So I don't know what that could be. I'm on the way to the dealership now, and of course it stopped, but the engine light's still on, so that means something's going on. I love this car so freaking much. Like, I would get this car over and over again, but why is there so many issues? Like, I've never had so many problems with a car. But I got it last October 2024. It already had the exhaust redone, the electrical to the fuel pump, and I've taken it for this issue with the fan 5 times. Me and my fiance have been so distraught with this car. We were just gonna trade it in and get rid of it, and then as soon as we decided to keep it, all this shit is happening again. Like, what is wrong with cars these days?
And here's the part that gets me. She says she loves it and would buy it again. It's already had the exhaust redone and the fuel pump wiring replaced, and it's basically brand new. People are so used to new cars breaking that 5 shop visits a year still earns an "I'd buy it again." The bar didn't just drop, they buried it.
Some of you that don't know, that own a 07 to 2024 Ram, there is a stud and nut on the intake grid heater, you know, your preheater to start it. Don't have glow plugs, obviously. And it deteriorates, and guess where it goes next? Goes right back to number 6, most generally. On top of the piston, you know, bang, bang, pow, pow. Sorry, bang, bang, skeet, skeet. How come one of you motherfuckers didn't tell me I got shit all over my face? So anyway, short story time. This truck was towed in. The guy was reading on the internet, had like a little funny engine noise, took his intake off, and here's where we're at. So he ordered the BD kit, did the install, and he goes, Joe, I think it's on top of a piston.
Read that again. The little bolt that helps your $60,000 diesel start in the cold eventually rattles loose and drops straight onto the piston. By design. Ram engineered a part that when it fails doesn't just stop working, it grenades the engine from the inside.
So, it'd be that time of year in Missouri. Fucking red wasp was after me. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the valve cover rocker box, pull the injectors out of it, and I'm gonna bore scope and see if we got damage. If we don't have damage, I'm gonna leave it up to the customer. Probably still a good idea. We should probably pull the head. So let me show you what I got. Got the injectors out. I bore scoped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6 was full of diesel, usually is. Drains the head into that cylinder when you remove the injectors, sucked it out. All right, so I got my bore scope down in 6. We've got carnage.
Carnage on cylinder 6 because of a nut. This is a truck people pay 6 figures for, and the difference between running fine and a full engine rebuild is one tiny stud nobody outside a diesel shop has ever heard of.
I can't tell if it's rent the cylinder wall. I do see, you see that right there? That's an intake valve, probably from when that stud and nut come through and bent it, and then of course the piston impacted it. All right, so we're gonna contact the customer. Head's gotta come off, obviously. We're gonna look and see if we've got any scoring on the cylinder walls. If we do, we're in trouble. It's engine time. If the cylinder walls look great, cylinder wall, since it's only 6, then we can put a piston, set of rings in it, send the head off to the machine shop, have it gone through, gonna have to have a valve, so on and so forth, coolant bypass kit, service, oil change, coolant flush. Obviously we already have the BD upgrade for the grid heater, and stud the head and send this guy down the road. All right, see you on the next one.
Hey, while I'm on my lunch, I figured I would share with y'all about my car. So I drive a 2018 Yukon, GMC Yukon, and while I love the Yukon, and I know all the other mamas love the Yukon, I'm gonna let you know at 140,000 miles, I had to get a brand new transmission. Actually, you don't get a brand new one. When you go get another one, they give you like a refurbished one, I guess. I don't know. But it comes with a warranty. It comes with a 3-year warranty. And thank God it does, because now at 174,000 miles, I'm having to take it back to the shop for transmission issues. So I'm just letting you know that you might want to think about that. I'm not saying I wouldn't buy another Yukon, but I might buy a diesel Yukon.
Catch the fine print there. When the transmission on your Yukon dies at 140,000, you don't even get a new one. You get a refurbished one with a warranty, which she needed, because at 174,000, it's right back in the shop for the same thing. They don't fix the problem. They re-gift it to you with a receipt.
GM, you guys are full of shit, and I don't know what to say to you guys. I'm sure you guys remember this truck, the one that blew a transmission at 11,000 kilometers. The one that's been giving me problems since I ever got it. The one that's been in and out of the shop, and I've had it for 2 years, and probably out of 2 years, it's been at the shop for a year. GM responded to my last post saying they're gonna help me, and it's been about almost a year. As you see, I got stuff on my back from crawling under trying to fix it. It's been almost half a year now, and they haven't helped me out, and my warranty's done. And again, I'm dealing with the same problem. The truck is not turning on. It's at 40,000 kilometers. It's unbelievable. It's at 2023. It's brand new. I don't know what to say anymore. GM, you guys are full of shit, and I don't know what to say to you guys. Just a little backstory for people that didn't see the past post. This truck has blown a transmission at 11,000 kilometers under warranty.
11,000 kilometers. That's barely broken in. This truck blew its transmission before most people finished paying the sales tax, and then spent a full year of its 2-year life sitting in a shop. He owns a brand new truck he can't drive, and GM's big move was to wait out the warranty.
And it has had multiple issues where it's been in and out of the dealership. I have the representatives saying they cannot do anything, even though they feel for me. I'm very disappointed. I mean, we spent so much money on this truck, and I can't even use it properly. Again, embarrassing. I'm stuck in front of a customer's lot here, so don't know what to do.
Y'all want to see a milkshake? Made it fresh. Got a 21 beautiful Yukon Denali. And that's what these new trucks can do for you. Make your milkshakes when you get a little parched and hot. Isn't that right, Raphael? You gonna drink it?
I mean, ain't hard enough yet.
That's not hot enough yet. Look at it. It's so irresistible. Man, luxury to its fullest. Extended sunroof, tablets in the back, all factory. You know the saying, what's good to you, but not good for you? This is it. This thing be having so many issues. And I think this one got about 130,000 miles on it. And this one has that awful DOD system that's prone to lifter tech and just failure. And some of them have transmission problems out the wazoo. Oh, it's so cool to play with. This is not a blown head gasket, guys and gals. This is just a damaged oil cooler internally and allow oil to mix with the coolant. That's it.
So the luxury feature on this Denali is a built-in milkshake machine, a $70,000 truck that blends your oil and coolant together for free. That's the DOD system, the collapsing lifters, and the transmission problems. All standard equipment on the baddest truck money can buy.
So we're going to replace the whole cooling system, flush everything very thoroughly, and have this truck back on the road to them. Alex, Car Doctor out. See you guys on the next one.
We just bought this all-new 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe, and after only 27 miles, the transmission's already giving us issues.
27 miles, not 27,000, 27. This thing barely made it out of the parking lot before the transmission started slipping. You put more than that on a shopping cart. And it's not just the American brands anymore. The whole industry caught the same disease.
You can actually hear the issue. As you could probably hear, when you take off from a stop, it feels like the transmission isn't engaging properly and is slipping. So we're off to the dealership to see what's up.
Well, guys, it's been about a week later, and Hyundai did get back to us, and they said that it needs a full transmission replacement to fix whatever the issue is. Now, they've had a ton of vehicle technicians in and out of the vehicle from Hyundai Corporate to try and figure out what may be wrong with this, because obviously this is one of the first new Santa Fe's out there, and they don't want this issue repeated on other units. Right, and hopefully this is a one-off issue, so we do want to emphasize this is probably not everybody's experience, and so far Hyundai and our dealership, Don Franklin Hyundai, have been excellent. Now, of course, we have more to say about this, so go to our full-length YouTube video to learn all about this issue, and also subscribe or follow. That way you can get updated as changes occur.
We had sold this truck. It's a Ram 1500 Sport, but if you guys are familiar with Rams, they got that shifter that looks like a volume knob. What happens when that thing stops working? You can't move the truck. You can't go forward, you can't go backwards.
Think about what he just said. Ram replaced the gear shifter, a lever that worked for 100 years, with a knob that looks like it controls the radio. And when the knob glitches, the whole truck is a paperweight.
It was like 4 days later, the customer called us a little angry. He's like, hey guys, I can't get this truck out of my driveway. What's going on? We took a look at it and it was that stupid volume knob. It had just quit working and we couldn't move the truck. He came back to the dealership. He was like, guys, I don't know if I want to deal with that whole volume knob thing. We told him we'd fix it, no issue. We pay the bill for everything. We took care of the customer. We sell a ton of these because the things are fully loaded. You got the fancy big screen. People just love that. But the thing about electronics is that they're a pain in the butt when they go wrong. Basically, this whole thing just flashes and I would go to put it in reverse and it would just go back automatically to park. I'd put it in D and it would just go back into park again. Once the customer parked it, for us to move it, it took us like 10 minutes of playing with that thing. And that's just one of those things on these newer trucks. The more tech they get, the more issues like that happen. But in this case, this thing only had like 80,000 miles. It's a clean truck. It didn't have the message go on, any of the alerts. It just went out and you couldn't move the truck. Luckily, the customer was at his house. It wasn't as a big deal, but can you imagine if you're like at a drive-thru at a Starbucks or something and you're with your family and you need to move the truck and you can't? You gotta call a tow truck. That'd be a really pain in the butt.
That's the trade nobody agreed to. You pay extra for the fully loaded truck with the fancy shifter, and what you actually bought is more things that can strand you. The bare bones truck with a real lever never leaves you calling a tow because a knob had a bad day.
What do you guys think? Should we keep on getting more fully loaded trucks or just stick to the bare bones stuff? Let us know.
Hey everybody, this is update 10 or 11 or 9 on the 2024 Chevrolet Traverse Z71 that left us stranded in Tennessee on the family vacation. But anyways, the transmission went out at 1,500 miles.
1,500 miles, and the transmission's gone. Then 33 days waiting on GM's engineers just to approve a new one. Over a month with a brand new truck dead in the driveway. And that's before the radio cutting out, the headrest not working, and the doors rattling. That's the new car experience now.
And it took us 33 days to get the new transmission approved by GM's engineers and installed on this thing. And so now it's been running really well. And so that being said, we're now at about 10,500 miles or so. But what I wanted to talk about in this video is not the transmission failure or the radio going in and out, connecting to CarPlay, or the headrest not working, or the popping and rattling noises in the door when you're listening to music. None of that stuff. I wanted to talk about this plastic that's on the bottom of the car. That's this trim stuff down here that's comes on every trim model, I believe. It's not painted to match. But I had some of this plastic trim on our old car, the Mazda. And I don't know if you can tell from the pictures here, but what I did is I used this ceramic coat on just the outside. I haven't done the inside there. Obviously, that's a lot of dirt right there. But on the outside, I see right here in the middle where it's like faded. I got to go back in there and get that part that's faded. But on the outside, you can definitely tell the difference when you use that ceramic coat wipe. And so I did that on the outside here and all on the bottom. And it goes on, with protective gloves so it doesn't soak into your so it doesn't soak into your skin. And then you just wipe it on there. This side I have not done yet, so I wanted to show you the difference. Like I said, about 10,500 miles. I washed the car with, the soap and water and spray wax to help it dry. But this side, like I said, has not been done. And you can see the difference of how quickly this trim fades on this car. And on our Mazda, it wasn't even this bad. But I mean, it looks really bad. And that's after soap, scrub, wash, everything. Look at that. That looks like a 5-year-old car almost. Let's go back around to the other side. This side was done. Not the bottom bumper, but just the side of the fender well here. And then all along at the bottom. It looks brand new to me. And that stuff is supposed to last for 200 car washes, so we'll see. Let me show you what it looks like. Get on Amazon. It comes in a little package. Well, it's this stuff right here. I think you get about 10 packs with one wipe inside, and then you get a glove that goes with it. But it does wonders. Try it out.
Okay, so one of the biggest problems on these newer Rams, the Cummins, the 6.7, is their great camshaft update that they did with the rollers. So we have one here that we've been keeping an eye on for a while now. We've been watching it. He's been coming in. We've been trying to figure out, we don't want it to crater and come apart, so he's been saving the money up. So it's in here now. This noise is coming and going. We're hearing this. So what happens is you'll hear the rollers start to fall out of place, and you'll hear it popping through the intake.
So on the newer Rams, the camshaft rollers literally fall out of place and start hammering through the intake. And if you don't catch that ticking in time, the whole engine's done. It's a listen for the death rattle feature on a truck that costs more than some people's first house.
You'll hear a little bit harder tap, and it's coming in now. I don't know if you can hear that, but that tapping's coming in and out more and more. So we canceled out all the injectors. We pinpointed it to a camshaft problem. We've got the Hamilton kit here. This will be coming into the shop next. And we're actually working on our own kit, but we'll have this cab up, we'll pull this engine out, and we'll go inside. I'm pretty sure we caught this just in time, but you'll start hearing that come and go. When you start hearing that ticking noise coming and going, get it to a shop. It's just a matter of time at that point. So if you don't get it soon enough, you can damage the block. You can cause catastrophic failure. So we'll get this apart and we'll look into it and we'll share a video of what we find inside. But I can hear it coming again, the ticking. So it's just coming and going.
That is not a sound that you want to hear. Well, unfortunately today we will be replacing the serpentine belt on the Cummins. As you can tell, the serpentine belt on the Ford Jet is about to give out at any given moment. Little update here, we took the airbox off because this makes this job a hell of a lot easier. We have the serpentine belt loose. We do have to remove the tensioner to get the belt completely off, but this belt is paper thin. It was about to give out at any moment. So far, not too bad. Every YouTube video I watch, everyone said this is like a dreaded job. It is going to be absolutely awful, and so far, I'm not going to say too much, but it's going pretty well. All right, so we got the old serpentine belt off. It took us literally 10 minutes to get this out. I thought it was going to take way longer, but take a look at the condition of this belt. This thing is like paper thin.
Paper thin. On a diesel, people brag about being bulletproof. Even the good trucks are wearing out parts you're supposed to trust. And a belt this far, gone strands you the second it snaps. Nobody's exempt anymore, not even the Cummins guys.
I could probably just bend this like this a couple times and it'll completely crack. Got the new one here for comparison. This is what a good belt should look like. This is what a bad belt looks like. You can see the side by side. This thing is completely clapped. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get the new serpentine belt in as easy as the old one came out. Not nearly as bad as everyone made it out to be. Within a half hour, we were able to get this belt around the fan clutch on every pulley that it needs to be on. We did end up removing the tensioner in order to do this. It made it a lot easier, but everything is back on and where it's supposed to be. The only problem is we did find another issue that we're gonna have to fix before we start this thing up.
So here's the truth. The badge on the tailgate doesn't protect you anymore, and the price tag definitely doesn't. If you've got an older truck that still runs, you're winning. Keep it. And tell me in the comments, what's the most expensive thing that's broken on your new truck? I rate everyone.